quickly, one last time, DAZN pay-per-view in the U.S. and Canada and all cable and satellite providers, and globally via DAZN pay-per-view. All right, all that business out of the way. Let's get to the guys that you're here to talk to and to hear from. Nathan, if I can start with you. You had a lot of options post your UFC career. You had a lot of different suitors. You had a lot of different opponents that wanted to fight you. Ultimately, why did you choose an 8-round boxing match against Jake Paul for your first fight post-UFC?
My plan in fighting is always to fight the biggest name and the best fighters there are. I've been trying to get out of the UFC for a long time because I knew what I was worth, what fighters are worth, and what I should do. And it was a long road, but when I was on the way out, he was doing the biggest and the best things outside for fighting and in fighting, and I was glad I had a worthy opponent to make an attack on as soon as I got out.
And this is a co-promotion between Jake's Most Valuable Promotions and your Real Fight Inc. Your promotion, relatively new, to see it on the marquee, to see this come together, to see this be a 50-50 split. For someone like yourself that has been a part of the fight game for so long, what does this mean to you?
Yeah, I think everything was. I appreciate everything that I've done and had to go through because it got me to the point where I understood and knew what I needed to do, what I wanted to happen, and what should happen. It's been done before, so people don't watch really the blueprints on how things are done, and I was watching it motivated the whole time, and it was just time would tell, so.
MVP, Real Fight coming together, and Jake, we last saw you back in February, tough fight against Tommy Fury, and correct me if I'm wrong, it did seem initially like your heart was set on running it back with Tommy. Can you explain why you pivoted and went after Nathan Diaz instead?
Yeah, no, Nate Diaz was always the plan after Tommy. That was what I said even in the build-up to Tommy. I was like, it's Nate Diaz after Tommy Fury. So that was always the plan. This is a big fight. This is a fight that I've wanted for a long time. He got out of his UFC contract, and this is probably the biggest fight of the year, only topping me versus Tommy. So I want to make big events, big fights happen, and strike while the iron's hot. He was a free agent. Let's run it, make it happen, settle the shit talk, and I'm ready for war. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me out, Dallas. I love y'all, and I'm going to do what Conor McGregor couldn't do, and I'm going to knock this man out.
Do you feel, considering what happened in February, like there is more pressure on your shoulders to prove to everyone that you belong here, that you can have a successful boxing career, and that you can beat someone of his caliber?
100%. I'm filled with vengeance, ambition, hunger, drive more than ever before. I have a lot to prove, 2 chips on each shoulder, and it's do or die for me. Truly, this fight is do or die. I have to leave it all on the line, and I think that's the same for Nate Diaz, He's leaving the UFC on a win. He wants to come into this game, make a bunch of money, knock out the YouTuber kid, then go back and finish his legacy off. And that's why this is such an amazing fight. But I just lost, and if he beats me, then where does that leave me? So it's 2 people who can't lose, who don't want to lose, who never back down, who keep on fighting, and that's why this is war, and I'm ready for war.
And by the way, when you say do or die, do you mean if you lose this fight, you're done?
In my mind, that's how I'm treating it. In my mind, that's how I'm treating it. This is the only thing I'm focused on. And I'm filled with that hunger, and I have more conviction now than ever of what I'm going to do in this sport. And when you're doing a lot of fights back to back to back, I'm knocking everyone out, putting them on their ass, making tens of millions of dollars, you can lose that hunger, and that loss reinstilled that in me, and I'm excited to come back. I said, don't judge me by my wins, judge me by my losses. So I'm gonna come back, and I've been working in silence. I promise you that. I promise you that. I promise you I know what I'm capable, and this is gonna be the best version of Jake Paul that you're ever gonna see in the ring.
One last one from me. Nathan, just curious, did you watch his fight against Tommy Fury? And if so, what is your assessment of Jake's boxing skills at this point?
Yeah, I did. It was a. I don't even think no one won or lost. So it's like, that's why I wanted to fight too. Because usually I want to fight the guys who won, but I don't think anybody lost in the fight anyway. So And I think that was a hard fight to take with Tommy Fury because not a very big deal.
I feel you. All right, guys. Let's go to the media. And the way I like to do it is I'd love if you guys can say where you're from, what outlet you're from, and also what your name is. Let's keep this classy here. You know, that's what they do for the big press conferences. So we've got a couple of microphones roaming about, and I do believe we have our first question asker right over there. Take it away, Mike.
Yeah, Mike Bond with USA Today and MMA Junkie. Start with Jake. Jake, before you fought Ben Askren, you were saying that this fight was inevitable. It was going to happen one day. People called you crazy, delusional. Is it surreal to be sitting up here across from Nate and actually have this coming to fruition?
Yeah, look, that's what people have said my whole entire career, so I'm used to it. I'm used to the non-believers, and I've always said exactly what I'm going to do, and then I've done it. And so, yeah, we're finally here. I predicted the future, but it is surreal, you know, and I had to put in the work to get here, and I'm just excited to be here putting on massive events, and this is just the start of what I'm going to accomplish. So everything else I've said still holds true as well, and this is proof of that.
Jake always says it's, you know, himself versus MMA. Do you feel like you're representing MMA in this fight, or do you want people to look at you now as Nate Diaz, the boxer?
Yeah, I didn't like the build up to his last fight with Tommy Fury because they were stereotyped. Well, I was taking offense because I was being stereotyped as an MMA fighter. Tommy Fury, I think, was saying, like, they're MMA fighters who he's fighting. I'm like, first of all, these guys are saying how... I was offended because he was saying how those are MMA fighters, they're not boxers, but Anderson Silva would whip Tommy Fury's ass, so that was kind of stupid. But I don't like being stereotyped as an MMA fighter. I always like the art, each art. I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu. And I would have been a pro boxer when I was 18 years old, but a cage fight came up first. So I was stuck in a cage my whole career. And there were times when I got locked out in contract right away by the UFC. So I was already locked down from the beginning. I wanted to get out and do boxing, but it was contract after contract, and shit just kept chain reaction the whole time. I was just locked in longer and longer. So I've been going to boxing gyms since I'm 15 years old, sparring pro boxers, and I don't think I've ever got my ass whipped at a gym, in a boxing gym, and not came back and been the last guy to win the rounds. So I've always wanted to box, and like I said, I feel like I was a pro boxer the whole time. Every fight I fight in MMA, I was training just like any boxer trains for a boxing match, sparring pros, hitting mitts, running, and doing all the boxing workouts, and more sparring than probably anybody. And that was just a part of the time. The rest of the time I had to do all the other shit. So yeah, I'm glad I get to come here and showcase my skills in boxing.
Jake Engel from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. You've obviously done something that no one really else has done, which is create this niche of boxing events that hadn't previously existed. So in doing that and talking about your boxing legacy, have you thought about maybe moving forward eventually where you take on guys who are classically trained boxers and maybe their background isn't crossed over into MMA, or is this what you want to do and you'll do as it best fits to make a big event?
Yeah, I mean, Nate's classically trained in boxing, like he just said. He's been in the gym since he was 15 years old, you know, sparring guys like Andre Ward, Regis Progress. So he's a classically trained boxer. That's what he's known for in, you know, the UFC. So basically, I want to throw big events, yes. But at the same time, I'm taking on fights to challenge myself and doing things that people with the number of fights that I have aren't doing, you know, which is taking on hard opponents. You know, I'm not just taking on these guys who are journeymen who have, you know, these terrible records. And I'm going to fight the biggest names in the sport and the best competition, and I'm just getting started.
Jake, Akib Ghazi out of Houston, Texas. You lost a close split decision fight against Tommy Fury. How do you see yourself preparing for a fight against Nate Diaz? Is your training camp, is it going to be different? Are you changing people in your camp?
Yeah, for sure different. I've switched up pretty much the whole entire team. Brought in new people who are going to hold me accountable for my mistakes that I'm making in the gym. And you know, even down to the nutrition, strength and conditioning coaches, all that has been switched. And I believe I learned a lot from the last fight, and I'm just implementing those things into my training camp and not going to make the same mistakes as before.
If I could follow up briefly with that, I know you're back with the great Sugar Shane Mosley, who's in attendance, who was instrumental at the beginning of your career. Why did you go back to Shane?
Yeah, brought in Shane and third Theo Chambers as well as Jay Leon on the team, and I was talking with Shane after the fight, talking with Jay Leon, talking with third, and they all identified the same little mistake that I was making in the boxing ring that needed to be fixed, which would allow the rest of my mistakes that I was making to be corrected. And so once they were all on the same page, Shane was, free, and was, willing to come in and do this full time. So we assembled the Avengers team, and things have been great now. And I feel like a whole completely different fighter already in just a short amount of time. And, we still have 88 days until the fight. So I'm excited to keep on working, and this is going to be my best performance yet.
Mr. IOTBA with the Spit Bucket Podcast. Nate Diaz, you've been one of the best combat fighters for the last 20 years. Do you take it as disrespect when you hear other media in here questioning whether you could be in the same ring as with a Jake Paul when you've been doing this for years?
Yeah, I'm the best fighter to ever fight in the UFC. Straight up, I've been on all levels. I've been fought
your record
everybody.
Doesn't agree with that.
And
you're like 32-15 in the UFC.
Yeah, brother. But what's up? It's the same decision losses like you just lost. Did that guy really win?
You got 15 losses.
Most of those fights.
You got 15 losses.
Yeah, but who did I fight? Top 10. I've been fighting the top 10 guys the whole time. I probably fought 5 guys in my whole career that weren't top 10, and I wasn't top 10 there either. So I've been fighting the best guys. Do I deserve to be in? Which is what he's asking. Do I think, come on, man, what the fuck you talking about? I'm about to fight fucking, what happened? Conor McGregor fought fucking Floyd Mayweather. How many rounds did he fight him?
They went 10.
Yeah, hella rounds. I fucking knocked his ass out in 7 minutes. Knocked him out. He got choked because he was not trying to get hit no more, and he was smart, and he took the way out. That's the way to get out. He didn't take the way he had to, you know what I'm saying? So, isn't that the GOAT of the sport? 7 minutes.
By the way, did you want this to be a longer fight, considering that?
I don't know where all the fucking people are at. Where's the other? I thought we wouldn't have no normal people for the press conference.
What do you mean?
Whose idea was this?
I'm not good enough.
You're great.
Oh, thanks.
You're great.
Who
like, where's all that? We should have 100 normal people in here.
Oh, you mean the fans?
Yeah, this is a sketch ass press conference.
Okay.
Fucking rookie ass press conference. Next time, let the whole place in this place be full.
You know that you're the one putting on the event.
Yeah, I do know, but I thought maybe you would have it together by now. You find the big shows.
So you're mad at your team?
No. Next time, motherfuckers. Feel this motherfucker.
Well, fight week, I'm told the press conference will be open to the public. So this is just the ticket on sale, the appetizer, if you will.
Yeah, cool.
All right. Back to the
see
questions.
If I can make it.
All right. August 5th, exclusively on DAZN pay-per-view. Who's next?
It's a question for Jay. This is JJ Solomon, Spit Bucket Podcast. Jake Paul, first of all, man, want to just say this as a boxing background. Boxing purists, you often hear, Jake doesn't belong in boxing. I just want to say salute to you, man, because you could be making money doing a lot of other things. You're choosing to take the beating and go through the preparation that a boxer does. So with that being said, why boxing, and how long do you plan for this to go on? And go ahead.
Yeah, look, I'm a fighter through and through, and I love the routine, the discipline of the sport, being an athlete, and I fell in love with it, and I caught the boxing bug, and I feel like this is what I was put on earth to do. And the sport saved me in many ways from where I was at. I was going down the wrong path in Los Angeles, chasing the wrong things, involving myself with the wrong people, and boxing gave me the opportunity to step back from that, to learn who I was as a man, and to build and grow and to focus on something other than doing, you know, the stupid little YouTube shit that I was doing back in the day, because that's not truly who I was.
Thank you. And Nate, question for you, man. You've had a knack of attracting the fights that get the people talking. Obviously, Conor McGregor and then Gamebred. How would you put the guy in front of you now in terms of quality, in terms of respect? How would you rate him up compared to the guys like Miles Vidal and McGregor?
Yeah, I think he's great. I think he's doing a good job. He's been put on a show, like he said, but that's the only reason why I asked about the fans. He's put on a few shows, so it's like we should be having people in here by now. But as far as a fighter, he's young, he's motivated, he's working hard. I could see that. I'm sure everybody could see that, and that kind of motherfucker is unstoppable. So those are the kind of people I want to fight. And that's why I wanted to fight Conor and the top guys. Anytime I took time off from my fights when I wasn't fighting was because I wanted the top guy, and they were trying to give me some fucking lame-ass motherfucker. I'm like, I'm trying to find the, you know what I'm saying, best of the best. And I think you did a great job. And that's why, you know, I'm here to let motherfuckers know that I do a great job, too.
We will go to the next question. And before we do so, just want to apologize to the audience at home for any bad language.
Stop cursing.
Yes, please stop. So a lot of kids watching, fans. So apologies.
Kendrick Johnson, MMA Weekly. This is for Jake. Jake, do you ever see yourself fighting somebody that has been a champion or a current champion in boxing? How big do you want to go?
Yeah, for sure. Look, I'm getting more and more experience under my belt with each fight. This will be my 8th fight, and just getting better and better in the gym. I spar against world champions, you know, and trained with world champions all the time. So plan on that in the future 100%, but taking it one fight at a time as we speak.
Who do you spar with?
Steve Cunningham, Lawrence Okoli, Jalen Love, the list goes on, but lots of champions.
Next question for Nate.
Chad Dawson.
Oh,
another one.
Nate, would you fighting people like Andre Ward and sparring Hall of Famers? How much confidence did that give you, knowing that you've seen stuff that he can't do since he's not a future Hall of Fame boxer?
I'm sorry, who?
Andre Ward. How much sparring him has got you experience to fight somebody?
Yeah,
like
that was for sure a level up in my career when I first sparred him, and there'd been certain parts of my career, and I remember leveling up each time with a new. Okay, this guy's better than everybody else, and it was a great experience, and I appreciate it. And then I was waiting for him to call back for the next time he had a fight, and they hit me up again, and I went back for that camp, and I got a lot of experience from it, and I know for sure that Andre Ward is pretty much the GOAT of all this boxing stuff. So it was good shit.
And my question is for both of
and
y'all.
I don't know who you are to say that I'm not a future Hall of Fame boxer.
What's your resume look like?
See, I've done more for the sport than any boxers in current history. What has Floyd Mayweather done for women's boxing? The list goes on. I've changed the whole entire game, brought a new 70 million followers to the sport. I've put on bigger pay-per-views than some of these Hall of Fame guys. Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Tank Davis, 800,000 pay-per-view buys. Me versus Tommy, 830,000. So you want to talk about Hall of Famers? You want to talk about resume? Yeah, I'm building it up, buddy. I just got started in this game. This is my 8th fight, and I'm fighting Nate Diaz, one of the biggest MMA fighters in history. So yeah, that's my resume.
Final question then, do you end the fight with the KO, and when will you fight a champion that's already established in boxing?
Soon enough, brother. Pay attention. Tune in. Thank you for coming today.
Andrew Caprichetti, Inside Fighting. I talked to Conor McGregor, and he said that Nate's going to slap your head off. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I think he's got trauma from when Nate slapped his head off. But I like that. I like people that doubt me, and I'm going to do what Conor couldn't do, quite literally, and put a stint in all of these plans here. I know Nate wanted to get out of the UFC, come make a bunch of money, fight me, win, then go back and probably fight Conor in the UFC. So that's what these guys are hoping for. And I'm going to stop all that. I promise you that. And then I want Conor next after that. It's inevitable.
If I can ask Nate a question as well. I know during the Tommy Fury-Jake Paul fight, you didn't like his brother Logan talking in the middle of the fight and tweeted something about it. Is there a dream scenario here where you fight Jake and then later in the year you fight Logan and you knock both of them off?
Yeah, I think it was just a little out of line. It was nothing personal. I thought any show, what the fuck is someone yelling out like that in the middle of the fight? And yeah, Logan's doing great also, and if he continues on, I'm going to be continuing on. So if we meet, we meet. If not, it's all good too, either way.
Okay, cool. Up next.
Jake, Mr. IOTB at the Spit Bucket Podcast. I'm going to go off of what this displayed then. What you have did in the sport of boxing thus far, a lot of people wouldn't even attempt to get in the ring and do what you do. So when you hear people asking you or questioning you about your abilities and what you will do, when the numbers show it, when even the fight show it, with you fighting a guy like Nate Diaz, who's been one of the baddest men on the planet for 20 years, and you have people question you like that, how does that make you feel?
Well, it makes me feel sorry for them because they're not doing it. And it's easy to talk from the couch. It's easy to be a critic. It's easy to have an opinion when you've never got into the ring. That's why I respect anyone who gets into the ring, win or lose, especially if you lose and then come back. That's how you know if they're a true, real fighter. And so I welcome the critics. I love it. I let it fuel me. That's what has brought me here today. Quite literally is the hate and the people booing me and the people doubting me. And I've sat in front of these press conferences dozens of times now and said exactly what I'm going to do and was laughed at since the very first fight in my career when I said I would be here on the biggest stages. And I've just continued to prove people wrong, continued to put it all on the line, continue to never back down, put every single one of my opponents on the canvas. Win or lose, they've all gone down. And so I'm a real dog, and I know what I'm capable of. And that's why when these corny people try to say shit, I just laugh at them because look at where I'm at after 3 years. Are you kidding me? And not only that, I'm bringing people up with me, young prospects. We just launched Most Valuable Prospects. Amanda Serrano, Shadesha Green, Ashton Sill, all of these people. We have a new MVP signing that when we announce it, y'all are going to shit your pants. So I'm just getting warmed up in this game, and I'm already a statue in the game. I'm here forever. Okay, even if I lose, guess what? Y'all are still gonna come back and tune in.
Hey, guys. I just wanted to ask Nate one quick follow-up. He said it was do or die for him, and said it was also do or die for you. Do you agree with that? Like, could you not lose to Jake? Does your plans post UFC get all blown up if you lose to this guy?
I don't plan on losing to anybody, but. No matter what happens, I'll be here forever. I'll be fighting. No, I'll be here. Whipping ass the whole time.
Hey guys, Derek from Better Media here. My question's for Nate. Nate, I'm actually a boxer myself, and I've been trying to get into this undercard. I'm just wondering if you think I could fight your brother Nick. If he's anything like you, I think I'd beat his fucking ass.
Not very respectful. From
brother, where you just gonna walk around the streets or some shit? All my homeboys see you right now.
Yeah, I'm.
That was stupid, huh?
I'm definitely pretty nervous right now.
Yeah, that was stupid. What's your name?
I'm Derek from Better Media.
Hey, Derek, Better Media. Stupid ass motherfucker. The fuck? You need to have your ass whipped.
He works for my company. I'll handle that later. I'll fire him later. Nice. I'm sorry about that, Nate. Derek, shut up. Derek, shut up.
All right, sorry.
Nate, Mac Engel again from the Forward Star Telegram. I read you're 38 years old. Is that correct?
Yeah, 38.
38. Okay, you're obviously in great shape.
Strong.
Okay, you're in 38. You can probably do this for a while.
Different.
Nate, how much longer do you think you can do this? And what is it specifically about the fight game that keeps, Jake, you can talk to this too, that brings you in to want to do something that anybody would say, yeah, I don't know how healthy that is.
Yeah, I've been doing it a long time, most of my life. And I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. People talk about age and all that, and I think people all just been diagnosed with retirement and they're done. And only one's making my diagnosis is going to be me, and I feel better now than I did. I feel the same now as I did when I was 18, just with a lot of more experience and time under my belt, you know. And so the show for me is going on.
Skylar Dixon with the Associated Press. Nate, what can you share with us, if anything, about your recent legal situation in New Orleans?
I just fucking socked that welterweight champion right in his grill like 2 fights ago. And he's the champion.
What?
Remember?
Mm-hmm.
That works?
Yeah.
Hey, I'll shout out to Leon, that works.
Yeah. The king.
How old is he? Strong.
Did you think it was Logan Paul when they were all on the street there?
You gonna act like that wasn't Logan? Come on, bro.
Just definitely like in a flash. You thought.
Why did he run in my grill?
Over here.
I'm sorry?
You thought it was Logan?
It is Logan. What are you talking about? Where you guys saw what happened to Logan?
I thought it was
Logan. Is he here?
I thought it was
Shout out to Logan. He'll be all right.
Over here, Chris Santiago of MiddleEasy.com.
Hey, you don't want to just hit people out there. That's fucking dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Give them a little nap.
I think you need them.
That's nice too. Slowed it down a little bit.
Chris Santiago of MiddleEasy.com. This question's for Jake. What was the first Nate Diaz fight you ever saw? And what was your first impression of him as a fighter, as well as a personality?
Yeah, it's funny. I actually remembered a moment the other day when I was sitting on the couch at my dad's house in Ohio. I was probably like 14 years old, and we were watching the UFC event. And I was sitting on the couch, and his fight came on, and I seen like Nate Diaz, and I had a crush on Cameron Diaz at the time, and I asked my dad if that was her brother, and he said no. But that's the first Nate Diaz fight that I saw. So obviously he's a legend in the game, and I'm excited to be fighting him 12 years later. You know, from the couch in Ohio to here in Dallas, Texas.
I got a question for Ariel. You've covered Nate your whole career almost. How do you see this fight playing out? I know I'm putting you on the spot. Right
Wow, look at this guy. He's asking me for a prediction?
Answer the question, Ariel.
Yeah. I tell you, I think the winner on August 5th, if I had to pick one, is going to be the fans. I mean, how about that answer? Tremendous, right? That's a tremendous answer right there.
Don't duck the question, Ariel.
Can we make a bet or something so I can get it? No, I can't. Honestly, it's a massive honor for me. I have covered Nathan Diaz fights before. I've never worked as a part of the broadcast team for a Nate Diaz fight. I think he's one of the, as I said it myself, my own words, he's a combat sports icon. I think he's one of the most beloved. I'm getting there, okay? Give me a second. He's one of the most beloved and real and greatest fighters of all time. He's obviously been very cool to me throughout my career, as has his brother, so I have only respect for him and the Diaz family and the whole crew. And it's a huge honor for me to be a part of this DAZN team. Jake has been equally kind. It's an equal honor for me to be a part. And I do believe that the broadcast/journalism rules dictate that if you're working the event, you cannot pick a winner. So who am I to break the journalism rules and do something unethical? So I wouldn't dare do something like that. But I appreciate you trying to get me in trouble here. Jake in round 8?
That's your prediction?
No, that's what he said. I just wanted to make sure that he said that.
That's what you said.
I do. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Nate Diaz,
much love.
round 10.
Round 10. That's interesting.
It's an 8-round fight.
Are you campaigning?
I think this is what's going on in Nate's brain.
You did mention round 10, Nate. Are you
He
campaigning?
said round 15 or something.
Could this be a 10-round fight?
I said let's do 15.
Oh, 15? That's like an old school championship boxing. 15.
15
I don't even know if
rounds.
those exist anymore.
I'm going for 12. I've been fighting championship rounds for my last forever, so I don't know why this seems pretty championship material, so I don't know why we're not going 12.
You like that?
Like I said, yeah, let's do 15. Why not? Why 12 if we could do 15?
Brother, that's illegal.
Yeah, I don't know if that will fly.
Well, we can make some exceptions here in Dallas.
Okay, so you want 15, and you're down with that if that's legal, but you'd be happy with 12.
Yeah.
Is the belt on the line?
Which belt?
You know, the one?
The real one?
Yeah, the WBC one.
Yeah. No, for sure. Most valuable belt, for sure. Let's put it on the line.
Okay. Would you be okay with fighting for that belt, Nathan?
I don't know what they're going to say on it. I ain't wearing no belt like that.
He's known to
for
create
sure.
belts.
Belt time.
Yeah. Unless you want to make another belt for this one.
We'll figure it out.
And then they'll bastardize it and they'll corporate
I
it
don't
and
care
they'll
about a
ruin
belt.
it.
Let's just make sure the rounds are the right type of rounds.
Okay. Oh, 10 rounds.
Championship rounds.
Would you settle for 10?
Whatever he wants, man. I'm ready. It's not going to go that long.
Okay.
How's it going?
I feel like we got
What if
something
I lose
done
in
there.
the night? That'd be fucked up. Huh? What if I lose in the night? I mean, you asked for the more rounds.
Any other questions?
100 rounds.
Oh, there he is, the legend.
Ellie Segback, how you doing, guys?
Reporting.
So, how do you guys envision the fight ending? Jake, Nate?
Let's go with Jake first.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think he's going to be sharp for a couple of rounds, but there's just nothing he could do to stop me. I'm faster, I'm stronger, I'm the better boxer. And so he's going to be coming forward, doesn't have head movement, trying to pressure me. He's going to get diced up, and I see it ending in 4 rounds or less.
I just think I just think he's a better boxer and stronger and better get it done in 4 rounds or less.
This is at 185, Nate, and you haven't fought at 185. How do you feel about that?
That's cool. That's cool too.
All right.
I've been sparring everybody in my whole life.
What was his prediction? I just can't understand. I don't speak Stockton.
Bring the monkey out, dog. Bring your fucking stuffed animal out.
He said to bring the monkey out.
I don't speak Stockton.
Any final questions? Okay, here we go.
Hey, Jake. Keith Higgs with Renegade Radio out of Dallas, Texas. Hey, so you've done some pretty big things for the Boxing Association in the last 5 years. After this fight, I know you mentioned Conor McGregor. Is that something that you might want to take to the Octagon and do with Dana?
I'm signed to the PFL, so but we'll see. We'll figure it out. I told Nate too I want to fight him in MMA after this, and he doesn't want to do it. But I think once I knock him out, he's going to try to get that get back.
Is that true?
What, that I want to fight him in MMA?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to the UFC probably and fight the champion.
Leon or whoever's the 170 champion.
I'm here to showcase my boxing skills that motherfuckers don't know about. So that's a whole nother sport. I'm here to box.
Okay. All right. I think one more question. Here we go. Last one.
Joey Hayden, Dallas Morning News. When people think of MMA, UFC, boxing, they might picture Vegas. They might picture MSG in New York. How did you guys land on Dallas for this fight? And what kind of excitement do you guys have to do it in this market, in this building?
Yeah, I love Texas. Always loved Texas. And this is where I did my first fan meetup ever when I was 16 years old. So it's awesome to bring it back here and to really put on a show, because Texas obviously has crazy fight fans. So excited to put on a massive event, and the pre-sign-ups. Is this man leaving?
He said he's just going to the restroom and he'll be right back.
Jesus Christ. I've never seen anything like it.
He'll be right back, he said.
But yeah, the pre-sales obviously show that there's a huge interest, and the pre-sign-ups, excuse me, obviously show that there's a huge interest in this event.
Well, we're going to do a face-off, I think, so we can go for a few...
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
We'll do the face-off right now.
I guess we'll take a couple more questions until Nathan returns.
Jake, would you say Nate is the toughest opponent you faced yet?
I think he's the dumbest opponent yet.
What about as far as skill, like boxing? Better than Tommy Fury?
Definitely not.
Not better.
Definitely not. Definitely not. I think, yeah, he's tough in terms of being able to take punches and come forward, but it's just different in boxing, turning the punches over. You're going to see me be able to stop him, which a lot of MMA fighters can't do.
In your opinion, who is the face of boxing right now?
I would say, it's like Gervonta Canelo. I would say, like, Canelo is probably still the face, Gervonta's the tits, and I'm the ass.
All right, hi Jake, I'm Choco Espinosa out of the University of Texas. So I wanted to start off by congratulating you for putting on such a successful event back in Saudi Arabia. I tuned into BS with Jake Paul. You had over 500,000 pay-per-view buys, which is beyond impressive, man. So congratulations on that. With that being said, you are coming off your first career loss. So how did the loss affect you mentally, and did it lead to any changes inside your training camp and your team in general?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it made me reevaluate everything, including myself, my coaches, the people around me, everything. And I think that's good to do in life. It was sort of this reset and this opportunity to look into the mirror. And I learned more about myself in the loss than I have in any of the wins. And it's made me stronger mentally in life and in everything that I'm doing. And it's almost like a relief in a sense, because I never wanted to lose, but now that it's out of the way, I can sort of be free. And so in many ways, it's very, very freeing. And I think it'll help me fight being more calm and focus, but brought in a bunch of new people into the team. And I'm excited to show people my new skill set on August 5th.
Can I be, 1 second, sorry. Can I be a company shill for a moment?
What does that mean?
Meaning, all right, May 13th, this Saturday, KSI versus Joe Fournier on DAZN pay-per-view. Who's your pick?
I don't give a fuck, to be honest.
That's what company. I was just trying to. If you want, you can have a pick.
I really don't care. Like, it's a big event in the UK, but I don't think anyone here even is talking about it.
If you get by Nate, all goes well, possible end of the year?
I'm only focused on Nate right now.
Hey, Jake, I know you said you learned a lot about yourself when you took that loss, got that out the way. But my thing is that you learned a lot about the people around you, because when you were winning and you were on top, you know, everybody was patting you on your back. Did you find a lot of people, you know, went to the left after you lost?
Yeah, no, like, what's crazy is it actually brought me closer with a lot of the people around me, and it showed me how good my support system actually truly was. There was a few outliers, but I actually got more support and love and praise from my peers after the loss than I did with the win, and a lot of people stepped up to the plate. My best friends, Yuta, shout out Yuta, Susie in the building. So I have an amazing support system, and yeah, it was really cool to see and feel that.
Jake, Michael Frank here with Boxing Guru. Everything you touch seems to turn to gold. Knowing that you'll never struggle financially, what keeps you motivated to continue your boxing career?
Yeah, it's a really interesting question. I think legacy and testing myself and challenging myself to become a world champion. That's my ultimate life goal right now, since, you know, everything else in my life is set. I could retire and focus on my investments, my sports betting company, all these other things that I do, acting, you know, working on a movie, all this stuff. So just that passion and still knowing that I haven't done what I'm capable of in the sport yet, and that I'm going to continue to get better and better and better until I can become a world champion. And that's my goal, and that's what drives me.
Thank you very much to the media for all the questions. Thank you to everyone tuning in at home and around the world. We're going to face off the fighters. Nathan Diaz is back. Jake Paul is here. We're going to bring up the co-founder of Most Valuable Promotions, one Nikisa Badarian, to square the fighters off. And again, tickets go on sale to the general public May 11th. That's this Thursday. If you signed up, if you're one of the 20,000 plus who signed up, you're getting a code 6 p.m. Eastern tonight. You can get your tickets for this massive event on August 5th in Dallas, Texas. All right, guys, here we go. Jake Paul, Nathan Diaz, and there's Zach Rosenfield, also of Real Fight Inc.
Slow ass.
Thank you very much, guys. Again, DAZN pay-per-view, August 5th.